Candace Owens strongly criticized The View host for their confusing and poorly thought-out comments. Known for being an opinionated woman who backs up her views with facts, Candace wasn't about to walk past bad arguments, let their weak arguments slide. The View host Whoopi Goldberg is known for her ironic and often contradictory statements that both entertain and confuse the audience. But this time, she didn't just cause a stir on her own, she pulled her co-host Joy Behar into the mix.
Who, Trump or the Baghdadi?
Which one do you think?
Together, their irrational and inconsistent comments have sparked another round of controversy, making people question their understanding on sensitive topics. While Whoopi's contradictions aren't new, this latest episode shows how both she and Behar rely on emotional arguments that fall apart when looked at closely, causing even more backlash for the show. Candace, with her usual sharpness, pointed out the flaws in the arguments of Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg, making sure that the host's arguments didn't go unchallenged. Welcome back to my channel, guys. In today's video, I'll unveil the counterpoints of Candace Owens, challenging the claims of the View hosts and highlighting the weaknesses in their reasoning. In the live TV segment, while discussing the recent Supreme Court decision on abortion, Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg went beyond logic in expressing their view on sex and its consequences.
Porn everywhere now.
Right.
They encourage all of that. It sells everything. Sells.
In her counterpoint segment, Candace Owens took her stance against flawed arguments by Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg, which she referred to as coming from absolute bonkers. She began by addressing Joy Behar's remarks.
The reality of pregnancy, this particular group of people on the right in this country and these religious zealots do not understand the reality of what happens when you have sex.
I don't think she knows that it's not pronounced shesh, but we'll pretend that there's an H somewhere in there for counterpoint.
While Candace Owens agreed that conservatives ignore the consequences, she also emphasized that it's partially the other way around.
What happens? Children are the consequence. Life is the consequence.
People do understand very well that can lead to multiple consequences and that it's a serious matter. But blaming it all on religious zealots is not the solution. It's mostly the left that often treats pregnancy like a problem that can be fixed with an abortion, rather than addressing the underlying issues.
It would seem to me that it's the atheist zealots, the ones who have normalized laden aspirin commercials, that don't quite understand what happens when you have unprotected sex. And then, when they find out, they go, whoops, well, good thing I learned in health class that I can just get an abortion to deal with it.
Candace Owens challenged Behar's argument by pointing out a historical fact. Before the U.S. government began funding education programs, and before the landmark Roe v. Wade decision in 1973, the rates of teenage pregnancy were actually going down.
Country are about to find out what life was like before Roe v. Wade, a half a century ago, especially for women with little means.
Owens argues that our current culture, which often promotes casual and unprotected sex, has created a troubling situation. She believes this environment pressures young women into difficult decisions about pregnancy because they're encouraged to view sex as something without serious consequences.
I believe that you and the ladies that sit beside you contribute daily to that toxic culture of lies.
In the U.S., the debate over abortion has been intense and complex for many years. When talking about the consequences of sex and abortion, let's briefly look into the history of abortion rights in the U.S. In the early 1900s, abortion was illegal in all the states, though some allowed it with exceptions. Historically, abortion was legal in America before quickening, which is when the fetus starts moving around 4 to 5 months into pregnancy. In 1973, with the landmark Roe v. Wade decision, abortion was legalized nationwide.
On June 24th, 2022, both Roe and Casey were overruled by the Supreme Court in Dobbs v. Jackson Women's Health Organization on the ground that the Constitution does not confer a right to abortion.
On June 24, 2022, the Supreme Court ended federal abortion rights and returned the power of regulating abortion to individual states. This decision has reignited the debate and legal battles over abortion in the U.S. Coming back to our topic, after countering Joy Behar's controversial remark, Owens turned her arc toward Whoopi Goldberg.
Now let's hear from your co-host.
Known for her ironic and contradictory remarks, Whoopi Goldberg criticized people who oppose abortion, saying they don't have the right to dictate what women do with their bodies.
Do any of you men have any eggs or the possibility of carrying a fetus? How dare you talk about what a fetus wants? You have no idea.
Hold on, Whoopi. Let's rewind.
Welcome back. For today's Counterpoint segment, I wanted to discuss the recent Supreme Court abortion case.
Back in 2017, Goldberg received a GLAAD Media Award for her show called Strut Oxygen, a modeling show for transgender. Her efforts and voice for the rights of transgenders were recognizable.
And thank you, Oxygen, for saying yes to a show that scared the shit out of everybody else.
But here's the twist. Goldberg, who has supported transgender rights, admitted that only women can give birth. This statement exposed a big contradiction in her arguments, as it clashes with her broader views on gender and reproductive rights.
Oopsies! This is why I love intersectionality.
Listen to what Whoopi Goldberg emphasized while receiving her award. Now, coming back to the show, Whoopi is quite mad at people. Owens took her stance, emphasizing that in the midst of a heated cultural debate, Whoopi Goldberg supports transgender rights, including the baseless claims that these men being dressed up as women can give birth. On the other hand, her unexpected statement supports the idea that only women can truly give birth.
Here comes along Whoopi Goldberg, and she's so fired up about abortion that she accidentally tells the truth. Only women can give birth.
Despite the ongoing discussions about gender and reproductive rights, Goldberg's comment highlights a fundamental biological fact. Only women have the necessary anatomy to carry and birth a child. This moment serves as a reminder that even amidst confusion and conflicting opinions, some basic truths remain clear. There's an old saying that you should never interfere when your opponents are making a mistake. Another saying goes that even a broken clock is right twice a day. In this context, Whoopi Goldberg's comment about only women being able to give birth might seem like a mistake in the broader debate over gender and reproductive rights. And a mistake in front of Candace Owens never goes unnoticed.
Thanks, Whoopi, for proving that even idiots are capable of understanding basic biology.
Lastly, before closing her argument on abortion, Candace Owens addresses a crucial point about family dynamics. She stated the fact that men are often criticized for not being involved as fathers, yet the media frequently sends a message that men have little responsibility beyond conception. Owens argues that this inconsistency is damaging, as it excuses too many men from taking responsibility while also letting women avoid accountability for their role in parenting.
I mean, how on earth can someone logically explain how a baby is 100% the property of a woman as it grows inside of her, then the moment that the baby is born, it requires a 50-50 split?
Her critique highlights the need for a more equitable approach to parental responsibility, and the importance of addressing the implications of reproductive choices in a way that respects the roles of both mothers and fathers. Candace Owens urges both men and women to assume full responsibility for the lives of their children. The debate over abortion and reproductive rights is far from straightforward, and recent comments by The View hosts have certainly added fuel to the fire. Candace Owens has stepped up to challenge these remarks, questioning the logic and consistency of the arguments presented by Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg. Owens' critique serves as a reminder that understanding and responsibility are key to addressing these sensitive issues effectively. I would love to know your thoughts, so share your opinions with us in the comment section below. And stay tuned, guys, I'm coming back with more exciting videos for you. See you next time.